Lionel Messi's playing style has always seemed paradoxical. While others rushed across the field, he often stood still, watching and waiting. Yet he dismantled entire defenses with ease. Despite running less than most players, he became the most successful footballer of all time. How? Was it sheer genius or simply a different approach to the game? His journey began with a major obstacle. At 13, he was diagnosed with a growth disorder that could have ended his football dreams. Argentinian clubs deemed his treatment too expensive, but Barcelona saw potential. Karl Rexach, a Barcelona scout, was so convinced of Messi's talent that he offered him a contract on the spot, signing it on a napkin. In Barcelona, Messi was an outsider, small, shy, and introverted, but his skills on the pitch were undeniable. The ball seemed glued to his foot. His breakout moment came in the 2005 U20 World Cup, where he initially traveled as a promising talent, but quickly became the star. After a slow start, he took control, scoring crucial goals in the knockout rounds, including 2 in the final against Nigeria. Argentina won the tournament, and suddenly, the world knew who Lionel Messi was. By 18, he found himself in a dressing room full of superstars at Barcelona. His first senior goal was a masterpiece, a lobbed pass from Ronaldinho, which Messi expertly chipped over the goalkeeper. He showed flashes of brilliance but remained an unpolished gem. The 2006-07 season changed everything. Messi began playing regularly, and his unique qualities became evident. He was small but unstoppable. Defenders struggled to contain him, using brute force and desperate tackles, but he would glide past them before they could react. Then came a defining 3-month stretch that cemented his status as a football phenomenon. He became the youngest player to score a hat-trick in El Clásico, netting 3 crucial goals against Real Madrid, including a dramatic equalizer in injury time. His solo goal against Getafe, reminiscent of Maradona's famous goal of the century, saw him dribble past 5 opponents before finishing coolly. Even controversy followed him. His handball goal against Espanyol echoed Maradona's infamous Hand of God moment. By 2008, Barcelona was in crisis. Ronaldinho's golden era was over and the team was falling apart. The club needed a fresh start, so they appointed an unproven coach, Pep Guardiola. Upon arrival, Guardiola made bold moves, cutting Ronaldinho and Deco from the squad to build around a new leader, Lionel Messi. Pep saw something others hadn't. Messi wasn't just a flashy winger. He was the future of football. He gave Messi a revolutionary role, the false 9. Instead of waiting for passes, Messi was now tasked with roaming freely, dictating play, creating space, and finishing attacks. This tactical shift would redefine football. Critics often accused Messi of being lazy, especially in big games, but Guardiola explained his brilliance differently. Messi approached the game like a chess grandmaster, studying movements and staying 3 steps ahead. While others ran constantly, Messi conserved energy, analyzing the defense before striking with devastating precision. This new role unlocked his full potential, and in the 2008-09 season, he flourished. Barcelona dominated, winning La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Champions League, a historic treble. The final against Manchester United was the ultimate showcase, with Barcelona outclassing their opponents. In the 70th minute, Xavi delivered a perfect cross, and Messi, despite his small stature, stunned everyone with a rare header to seal the victory. In the following season, Messi reached another level of efficiency. He no longer relied solely on risky dribbles, but perfected his movement, timing, and positioning. His ability to read the game, find space, and strike at the perfect moment made him unstoppable. By the 2010-11 season, Messi had transformed from a dazzling dribbler into an unstoppable goal machine. He refined his game, relying on Xavi and Iniesta to supply him with pinpoint passes, allowing him to position himself strategically and finish with ice-cold precision. He wasn't just scoring, he was creating. His efficiency skyrocketed, leading to a staggering 53 goals and 27 assists in a single season. But his peak came in 2012 when he shattered a record that had stood for decades. Scoring 91 goals in a calendar year, Messi redefined the limits of football greatness. However, a turning point arrived. Guardiola, the mastermind behind Barcelona's dominance, left the club, forcing Messi to reinvent himself once again. Without Pep, Barcelona was no longer the well-oiled machine it once was. Tito Vilanova and later Gerardo Martino tried to maintain the team's structure, but something was missing. The once relentless pressing weakened, and the passes lost their precision. Messi noticed the shift immediately. Instead of exhausting himself in fruitless pressing, he adapted, moving even less. This wasn't laziness, it was a new level of efficiency. He stopped wasting energy on unnecessary sprints and focused on striking at the perfect moment. But then, in 2014, Barcelona made a game-changing signing. Luis Suarez arrived, joining Messi and Neymar to form one of the deadliest attacking trios in football history. With Suarez's aggression, Neymar's flair, and Messi's genius, Barcelona reached new heights. No longer carrying the team alone, Messi transitioned into a playmaking role, orchestrating attacks while still scoring at an elite rate. The result was one of the most dominant seasons ever. MSN scored a record-breaking 122 goals and secured the treble, winning La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. The following season, they broke their own record with 131 goals. Barcelona had built an offensive juggernaut, and Messi thrived in it. But in 2017, Neymar's departure to PSG disrupted everything. Barcelona, desperate to fill the void, splurged on Philippe Coutinho and Ousmane Dembélé, but neither fit the system. Messi once again had to do it all. He became both playmaker and finisher, leading Barcelona to another league title, but the team's dominance had clearly faded. Despite running less than almost any other player, his intelligence made up for it. Critics often accused him of laziness, but the numbers told a different story. In the 2018 World Cup, Messi covered just 7.56 kilometers per game, far less than players like Neymar, but his movement was calculated. He conserved energy, watching, waiting, then striking with deadly precision. Barcelona's decline reached its lowest point in 2020, with the humiliating 8-2 defeat to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. It was a moment of reckoning for Messi. 8 goals against Barcelona felt like 8 stab wounds. He had enough. He submitted an official request to leave the club, but Barcelona blocked his departure. Forced to stay, he led them to a Copa del Rey title in 2021. But the club's financial crisis meant they could no longer afford him. In August 2021, Messi tearfully announced his departure after 21 years. His next stop was Paris Saint-Germain, marking the end of an era. Despite his legendary status, Messi was never fully embraced in Argentina, at least not until 2021. For years, he was compared unfavorably to Diego Maradona, who had led Argentina to World Cup glory in 1986. Messi, despite his brilliance, had suffered repeated heartbreaks, losing the 2014 World Cup final to Germany and back-to-back Copa America finals in 2015 and 2016. The latter loss, on penalties to Chile, pushed him to briefly retire from international football. But great players rise from pain. In 2021, Messi had his chance for redemption. In the legendary Maracanã Stadium, Argentina fought their way to a 1-0 victory over Brazil, securing the Copa America. When the final whistle blew, Messi collapsed. To the ground, not from exhaustion, but from overwhelming joy. He had finally done it. But one mission still remained: the World Cup. Messi's final and most important mission was the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, his last chance at football's ultimate prize. The tournament began in disaster, with Argentina suffering a shocking 2-1 defeat to Saudi Arabia, leading many to mock Messi and his team. But true champions rise in adversity. Argentina responded with a string of victories, and Messi delivered performances reminiscent of his peak years. He led with the composure of a general, scoring crucial goals and providing stunning assists. His influence was undeniable, and Argentina reached the final to face France in what would become one of the greatest matches in World Cup history. The final was a roller coaster. Messi scored, Argentina led, but Mbappé responded with a hat trick, forcing a 3-3 draw after extra time. The match went to penalties. With nerves of steel, Messi calmly converted his spot kick as if he had practiced it 1,000 times before. Argentina held their composure in the shootout, securing victory. And then, in a moment that will live forever, Messi lifted the World Cup trophy. The stadium erupted, and fans carried him on their shoulders just as they had done with Maradona in 1986. But this time, there was no more debate. Messi had surpassed the legend. After years of heartbreak, criticism, and relentless pressure, Messi had completed his journey. For Argentina, this was more than just a win. It was the fulfillment of a decades-long dream. Millions celebrated in Buenos Aires as Messi cemented his place in history. He had revolutionized football not by running more, but by thinking faster, seeing the game in a way no one else could. With this triumph, all arguments were settled. Messi was the greatest of all time. But one question remains: will anyone ever match his legacy?